So, apparently I'm a witch.
Cause she's a witch.
I'm the love witch.
I am a witch.
I am a witch.
Sally just came out.
Now the witch is back!
Yes, indeed. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Hello. Welcome to Beyond Authentic, where we are going to be doing some tarot reading today. I hope you are all extremely well. First of all, I've got to say huge mega apologies. I have started 5 minutes late because I went slightly over on the members only. I was doing some readings using a new deck that I have to admit I absolutely love, but it's a new deck to me. Like I've had it for over a year. I think I've used it about half a dozen times because I don't like using them on the streams until I know the deck a bit better, till I've done like a deck interview and things like that. So I hadn't actually sort of used it in earnest really until just now. And so for the first part of it, my brain was going and the deck I'm talking about, I'm going to show y'all, is the dog tarot deck, because you know I am one of those people. Yep, I have a lot more doggo friends than I do human friends. I have never met a four-legged doggo person that I haven't liked, apart from one when I was a kid that bit me and nearly took a chunk out of me. But apart from that, I have never met a doggo I didn't like. However, there are plenty of two-legged people walking around that I definitely don't like. But I might actually do some readings with this tonight. So there we go. Anyway, good evening all. Hope everybody is doing fantastically well. We are almost at a brand new month. It's almost the end of Pride season. We've got one more episode of the podcast, the return of the podcast, Beyond Authentic Witchcraft, the Meandering Magical Podcast, or, well, I'm not going to tell you what I called it. It's on the front of the episode that's being released tomorrow, so you'll have to go and check that out. So yeah, the first part is live. Do have a look down in the or do have a look at the channel for that. It's really interesting. It talks about LGBTQIA plus people, the queer people among us. It talks about how LGBTQ witchcraft and our place within those communities, me and Neil, as two different letters of the LGBTQIA alphabet people, where we fit, where we see ourselves, how we see our magical practice, how we incorporate all of that. But also it looks at how we've made sense and how we've experienced other witchy folk reacting to our being alphabet people, which I love the phrase alphabet people. I love it. It was used initially as an insult, but I must say, yes, I am one of those alphabet people. Yes, I absolutely am. Before I go any further, I do have to say, obviously, tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all your own decisions about your own life, and of course, tarot is not used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. You do make all your own decisions about your own life. These are just guides. These are just guidelines. These are just helpful hints to see where life is headed. Okay, that is all. I cannot be held responsible if the tarot says that you are better off dating someone else and you decide to break it off with your long-term partner and go off and have that summer fling with that waiter that you met that one time in that bar, that's up to you, Shirley Valentine. That is your choice, Shirley Valentine. That is not me telling you to do that. I am just advising what the cards say. It is your choice, Shirley Valentine. If that's what you... if anyone doesn't know who the hell Shirley Valentine is, it's a lovely film. Go watch it. It's great. But what I'm saying is, it is not down to me if you decide to do those things, if that makes sense. So, yes, do please go and with any tarot, make sure that the decisions feel right for you, okay? Anybody who claims to be a tarot reader who says, do you know what? I know best. Absolutely. I know everything about everything. Pinch of salt time. Pinch of salt time, I think, is the best way of handling that. And also remember, we do have a saying on this channel that I've not said in a long time, but it is very true. And that is mundane before magical. And what I mean by that is, look, if you are somebody, right, who is perhaps... Why have I got no chat? I've got no chat. Hold on. No. Oh. Let me trigger that again. Hang on. If you are somebody who is going through something and you need some sort of advice... Hang on. What's this? What have I done? What have I done? Where's that thingy come from? Right, let me take that off. Right, if you are somebody, right, who... I've completely lost my train of thought. I do apologise. I do apologise. Oh yes, if you are somebody who is injured or hurt in some way and you need to get some sort of treatment, whether that treatment is in the form of counselling or whether that treatment is that you've fallen off your bike and you've broken your arm, right? Always reach out to trained professionals first, right? Always go to the hospital, get your arm put in plaster, and then look at the herbs and the crystals and, you know, praying to a deity to maybe fix it. You know, do all of that afterwards. Don't do the first thing that you should the first thing to do is never to go into the esoteric. First things first, always deal with things on the mundane level, right? So if you've got a boyfriend or girlfriend or partner who is a little bit abusive, deal with them on the mundane level. Don't go seeking out all of these other ways of doing things. Concentrate on the mundane first, make sure you are safe, and then do the other, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. Sorry, I was trying to do 15 things at once and I did lose my my train of thought. But anywho, let's click on... Do I have the comments up? I seem to. Why are they not on my screen? What is going on? What is going on? Where are they? Hang on. There we go. There we go. It's on. I've got it working. Hurrah! Don't forget to do the YouTubey things, everybody. Please do hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button and ding your bell so that YouTube lets you know whenever I go live. Change your settings to all. Right, hopefully all of that makes sense. Right, good evening to Ed. Good evening to Sarah. Sarah has renewed her membership and also gifted a membership. Thank you ever so much, Sarah, allowing someone else to join the Crow Collective. That is awesome of you. Thank you very much. You can join the Crow Collective for just $2.99 a month if you choose to, or for £5 a month if you want to support us a little bit more in that way. So thank you ever so much for those of you that are doing so. Ed is sick of the heat. Absolutely. I do have the fan on right here. If it sounds very loud, do please let me know and I can move the microphone slightly if you can hear it. I am very aware. I do have one of these windsock things, these foam things, which should prevent it. But if you can hear the type sound, then just let me know and I'll move the mic. 7 months, Sarah, 7 months. I know, right? 2 more and you could have given birth or something. Good evening, Flower Beauty Peacock Rainbow. Good evening, Crystal Rose. Sarah is being generous. Yes, thank you ever so much. You love the colours of my top. They really suit me. Do you know what? Neil said earlier that he thought my top suited me. Thank you. That's really, really kind of y'all. Hello, Mitch. Oh, Mitch. Hello, Mitch. Hello. I was just about to say, what Mitch? We haven't got a Mitch in here for ages. You can't hear what at all? Oh, the fan. Thank you. That's really cool. Hanging in there, Talon and Fang. I like that. That's a really good saying. I like that, Mitch. That's very cool. Anyway, I think we're just about done all the things, haven't I? Have I done all the things I need to? Oh, I do just need to run this. Hold on a second. Before we go on, here's the house. Not that. Not that. I did that. I make those earrings. I'm not wearing any today because anything touching my neck at the moment is making me sweat. It's awful. I hate it. It's so hot. This is what I meant to play. Before we go on, here's the housekeeping. Tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You do make all of your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never be used to replace medical advice, legal advice, financial advice, or counselling advice. If you're looking for support in these areas, please do seek out professionals in these areas. You do have to be 18 years of age or over to get a tarot reading on this channel. And remember, please don't share private information here or anywhere else on the internet that you wouldn't want anyone or everyone finding out about now or anytime in the future. Absolutely. Please do protect your online privacy. It is vitally important. And just to also remind you all, we may be based in the UK, but YouTube is owned by Google, which is headquartered in the US and operates, I think, internationally, has different operating agreements in each country. Why do I bring that up? Because Google may well, how can I put this? Not Google itself. Governments may well ask Google to track certain information. And whilst I always say, if you put in the chat one day, oh, I've just moved to the red house opposite the church. That's lovely. Nobody knows where that is. The next week, you might put in the chat, oh, I'm loving it here in Shoeville. It's so lovely. Excuse me. It's such a nice village. Now I know you live in a village called Shoeville in the house opposite the church, right? That's what I know. That's what I know. Then you put in, I'm going on holiday in 3 weeks' time. Can't wait. I've got a week in Peru. Okay. I now know that the red house opposite the church in Shoeville, which is a small village, because you've said it was a village, which means there's probably only one major church. And if there's more than one church, there's only one red house. I now know where you live, what town you live in, exactly what house you live in. And with Google app maps and all of that, Street View, I can find out where you are and I would know when you're not home, right? That's something that anybody can do. However, we had a conversation with somebody recently in one of the recent streams, and the person basically was saying something along the lines of, will the, I don't know, let me do it this way. Will the tax office find out that I have secretly been working for the last 5 years as a, I don't know, as a ice cream man? Right. That might sound relatively innocuous, except what you're admitting to there is that the Treasury Department, or what's it called in the UK? Can't remember. the Treasury, whoever that is in the UK, whoever does the taxes in your country, right? They now know you've admitted to doing something, potentially to doing something that is illegal knowingly for a period of time. Please be careful, not just here, but what you type on Facebook, what you type everywhere, it can all be traced back. Okay, so just look out for your own doodah, your own legal whatevers, right? Protect your ass is basically what I'm trying to say. Anyway, 20 minutes in and I'm waffling. So just look out for yourself online, right? It isn't just about stranger danger. It isn't just about unsolicited eggplant pictures coming your way. It's also, don't put online, will the fact that I robbed the old lady three doors down, will that be discovered? A, I'm not going to answer that. And B, you're a moron and you're a dick for doing that in the first place. Do you know what I mean? Or, you know, don't ask me the question that it says something like, I have been embezzling from my company for the last 3 years, whilst also sleeping with my boss's wife. Will I get found out? Don't put that on the thing. Don't put it on the thing. Don't do it. Anyway, right, let's have a look at what we're doing today. We're going to be doing some tarot readings. I must admit, I think I'm going to stick with the dog tarot. I love it. And I do like my doggos. But yes, it is extremely hot here right now. It is extremely hot here right now. Let's have a look in the show. It's so warm. I'm so warm. You lost your call when M&S demanded your phone number and email to give positive feedback to a store employee, but would not say why they wanted your data. I know, right? I gave up trying to protect my my online info. I really did. It's like, I've got a YouTube account. You know what I mean? Everything I do is pretty much owned by Google or Amazon these days. So, you know, and I've got a Facebook. They all track you every which way you go. So, you know, receiver of revenue. No, it's called something else. Is it HMRC? Is that the ones? Or is that for customs? Is that importing? I can't remember. Tax office, tax people, you know who I mean. Someone bragged about going away on a cruise on Facebook. Really? Oh my God. Oh my God, that is shocking. See, it happens. It happens. It's not just a made up thing that I invented. It does actually happen. I will also say, me and Rufus were talking about this the other day. About 4 or 5 years ago, where we live, a load of the sheds got robbed, basically. They got broken into. Now, we've got nothing in our shed that's worth nicking. Some old tins of paint, some dog toys, some just old crap that's basically in storage before we end up chucking it out eventually. Do you know what I mean? We haven't got anything expensive in there. But they all got broken into. And I said to him, isn't it about time that they come round and rob our sheds again? He said, what do you mean? They've already robbed them. I said, no. I said, they robbed him 4 years ago. I said, now they know that everyone's had time to replace their fancy lawnmowers and their leaf blowers and their hedge cuttery thingies that do the topiary. I said, isn't it about time that they all come back now? And he was like, I didn't think about that. I said, yeah, it's the same reason why you get all the burglaries in early September, early October, because all the students move into all the houses, and every house in student land has got probably 4 or 5 students in. Everyone's got a laptop, everyone's got a mobile phone, everyone's got a telly, everyone's got all of these gadgets. I said, and so that's why there's a lot of break-ins and a lot of crime during college hours in those areas in September, October, because they know that people go in. And then a month later, there's a lot of burglaries that happen a second time because the students need to replace their mobile phones, their laptops, all the rest of it. So they replace them all. And then here come the robbers again. I know, right? Anywho, let's not talk about things like that. The weather guy says it's going to be the hottest... What? Hottest starting Monday with no rain for a few... Oh, God. Don't say that, Sarah. Although I will say the other day, I don't know if you were on a stream, the other day, Rufus, my lovely husband, did get rid of some old underwear, right? got rid of some old underwear. That underwear, see you later, Patricia, thank you. That old underwear he decided to burn rather than give to charity, because we had the burner going with a load of garden rubbish. He then danced around the fire apparently, and it started to rain. I know, right? My husband is a wizard. So I think I need to get him to do some dancing around the fire in the garden again. Maybe not burning underwear. Maybe that's what they wanted, to get the rain happening, because it is so blinking hot. Anyway, shut up, Lisa. Let's do some tarot. So we are here to do tarot this evening. If you would like a tarot reading, how do you get one on this channel? It's actually dead simple. My buttons are not... Why are my buttons not working again? It's dead simple. All you need to do is wait until you hear this noise. That tells you a round is open. Once that happens, do you know what you need to do? You need to go ahead, stick your comment in the live chat. Start your question with the word question, right? And then put your question in. One of those will get selected at random. If, however, you would like to guarantee that your reading is up next, you can do so by sending your question in the form of a super chat. Any amount will come through, and that will automatically guarantee that you get the next available reading. If I get more than one super chat, I do them in the order they come in, and if you super chat £8 Great British pounds or $10 or more, you get yourself a longer reading. We're going to start off with the dog tarot tonight. We might go to the Fifth Spirit or one of the other decks I've got sat here, and we'll just see how things go. So then, remember, you are waiting for that air horn sound. Once that happens, it means the round is open. So that can happen at any time. It's happened now. The round is open. Please do go ahead. Pop your question in the live chat, starting with the word question. One of those will get selected at random. Here's a quick recap. Do it now. Ask your question. Here's the housekeeping. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive... Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat, starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods. Yes, indeed. Do please ask one of our lovely mods. Right then, so it looks like we've got one question in. We've got Dormouse. Good evening to you, Dormouse. You would like a reading for the month ahead. We can certainly do that for you, my darling. I'm just pushing the microphone slightly out of the way. Hopefully you can still hear me well and good. So then, Wispy, we're going to cleanse the area first. So then, Wispy, my darling, we have Dormouse, who would like a general reading for July. A general reading for July. We're going to stick with the Doggo Tarot, or the Dog Tarot. I do love the doggos. I do love all doggos. As I was just saying, I've never met a doggo that I didn't like. Maybe. There's a couple of chihuahuas that I'm not, best buds with, but they're fine. They do their thing. We've got 3 doggos, so Right, let's have a look for you, Dormouse. We have the 6. Oh, look, naughty doggo. We've got the 6 of Swords coming up. Can you see what they've done? Look at this poor doggo. Look. Hang on, let me move the hang on, where is it? There it is. Let me just move this down a little bit. There we go. Look what they've done. Look, the doggo's gone in the bin and got all the rubbish out and their treats. I don't know why their treats are in the bin, but look, they've got all their treats out. A bit of a Frenchie going on here. So you've got the 6 of Swords coming up in your where you are now. Okay, so this is the energy that is coming into July. 6 of Swords is very much about community, friendship, sort of people around you, but Swords is your lessons, your hurdles, your obstacles, right? So this is something here that I don't know whether you're gonna get faced with repercussions, or whether you're gonna somehow learn a lesson, right? Does that make sense? It's like it's almost like you've got a lesson coming to you in some way. I don't know why that would be, Dormouse. I don't know. Have you been digging through the bins looking for those treats again? But it does feel as if there is some sort of comeuppance almost coming your way, and I don't know why that is, but it definitely feels right. As you go through the month, okay, we've got the 5. I have shuffled these cards a hell of a lot. So the 5 of Swords is about not necessarily having all of the knowledge or all of the facts about a situation. This does feel as if, I don't think it's necessarily something you've done, but it could be that you're going to get blamed for something coming up, because this does feel that, do you know what I want to say? I want to say it's almost like you've been set up. Like the bones were put in the bin. They shouldn't have been, but they've been put in there knowing that you're going to get them out because you can smell them. Do you know what I mean? And the 5 is very much like, there's some, 5 for me are difficult choices, difficult decisions, difficult things that you need to look at the situation you've come so far, right? 7s are about, here are the choices. 5s are about, where have I been? What have I done? You know, what positives and negatives can I take from a situation? 5 is about that, assessing the situation. And then your outcome, we've got the 10 of Swords reversed. Yeah, I think July is going to be a difficult month, my darling. I really do. July feels like it's going to be a difficult month, because this card here, it's like there's going to be quite a harsh learning involved, quite a harsh lesson. And it's going to be something that, because it's reversed, it's not something that you necessarily have done, or that, Wispy, give me that again. Right, when I say it's not something you've done, I think it's let me swap this camera over a second. Let me explain. It feels almost like you've been set up for something, right? And you don't have the full information with you right now, which is what that 5 is telling me. So because you don't have the full information, because you don't have all of the facts, whatever happened with that 6, it's kind of, although you did it, you acted without all the information and you acted on good faith. However, you are going to have to deal with the consequences. Does that make sense? And it's almost like, you know, when you go to another country and they've got different rules, and, you know, say for instance, I don't know, in the States, where crossing the road, you know, just as you stop, you just nip across the road. I think it's called jaywalking, right? We don't have that in the UK. So if the road's relatively clear, you can just walk across. You don't have to go to a crossing. It's like you flying into America and then getting caught for jaywalking because nobody told you that was a thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're off walking about in New York or one of the big cities, and you just go across and you go, oh, I'll just nip over there to go and have a look in that shop. Traffic's not really too bad. You can nip in and out and weave in and out, and then you get caught for it because nobody's told you. Or it's or more accurately, it's not that nobody told you. It's like someone said, oh yeah, you know, you can just nip across there, and so you did, and then you're having to deal with the $80 fine for jaywalking. It's something like that, right? And again, it's only an example. It is something like that. I don't think it's too extreme, right? Because there's no major cards here. I'm going to have to use the other deck because this reflection is really bad with these cards. There's no major cards. There's no court cards. There's nothing too egregious about the situation, but I do think there is something here where by the end of July you are going to realize, okay, it was my fault, but it wasn't my fault, but I'm going to have to pay that price anyway. And yeah, I hope that helps, Dormouse. Just be prepared for it, my darling. Forewarned is definitely forearmed in this case. Right, I am going to swap. I love this deck, but until I get my softbox light, which is the next thing I need to sort out, I need a matte finish deck. See the difference? See how it doesn't reflect as much. Oh, I like the Doggo Tarot as well. Never mind. This is my favourite deck of all time at the moment. I know, right? How can your favourite deck of all time change, Lisa? Well, because new decks come out. And this is my current favourite. I've just seen we've got a super chat in. Thank you ever so much. Bernadette Bradley Lario. Hello, my darling. Welcome to you. I've got a super chat that you've sent. Do you have a question, my darling? Let me go into the chat and have a wee look. Good evening, Fariha Noor, good evening to you. Good evening, Ellis. How are you, my darling? I hope you are well. Let me keep going up. Oh, it says you've asked a question already. Let me go in. Good evening. Did I say good evening, Ellis? I think I just said good evening, Ellis, already. And Ellis, Holland. Hang on a second. How far up, Bernadette? There you go. Will you feel calmer in July and less anxious? Let's have a look at that for you, my darling. By the way, listen, if you get kicked out of the YouTube on this channel, right, just come back in. There is something happening with YouTube at the moment. If you're on a mobile phone, it seems to try and kick you out within a few minutes of you joining the stream. If that happens to you, it's nothing that we've done. The mods haven't kicked you. I certainly haven't kicked you. And it is just something that YouTube are aware of. I've spoken to them. They say that it's down to some settings on the user's devices. So I don't know what that could be. It could be an ad blocker that you've got running. It could be a VPN. It could be something. I don't know. But YouTube say it's not on their end. If that does happen to you, please let me know, and please let me know when it is that you get kicked, because I will refer back to YouTube. I will message them again and speak to them again if it keeps happening. So yeah, it's also the fact that it isn't happening with, or the fact that it's happening with both Android and Apple, and that to me sounds a bit weird. If it was device settings, surely it wouldn't happen on both. Anyhow, Bernadette, let's do your reading for you, my darling. I love the name Bernadette. So we cleanse the space and we bring in Wispy. If you're new here, Wispy is my air dragon. So I do have dragons. There's normally an ability for me to put a link in the chat, but for some reason it's not working at the moment. And I don't know why that is. I don't know why. Everything is a bit weird at the moment with the technology, but yeah, I don't know why that's happening. But yeah, do go ahead and have a look down in the description box. It's always linked down there. There is a podcast episode linked all about the dragons. So then, right, let's have a look for you, Bernadette. Will life be calmer? Will you feel calmer in July and less anxious? Let's have a look. So this deck is the Fifth Spirit deck. It's such an amazing deck. It's like chatting to a best friend. Okay, and what I mean by that is if you are talking to a friend, right, just a mate, they may say to you, oh, I'm really sorry, Lisa, you're feeling a bit poorly at the moment. When you're well, let me know and we'll go for coffee or something, right? That's good. That's good. A best mate says to you, Lisa, I know you're not feeling well, but you know what? You've been in that bed for 4 days straight. You haven't showered. You've been eating nothing but takeaways. All the boxes of it are empty all over the bed. You've got crumbs everywhere. Right, I'm giving you half an hour. Get out of that bed, get in that shower, throw some clothes on. I'm going to pick you up. We're going to Costa. I'm going to buy you a coffee and we're going to set the world to rights. And then, do you know what? If you're feeling a bit better after that, we'll either go for lunch or we'll go for cocktails. I'm going to be there in half an hour. I've got some black bin bags. I'll clear up all the shit on the bed that you've made with all the crumbs and all the takeaway pots and everything else. You get in the shower. I'll be there. Only a best friend can tell it like it is, isn't it? Only a best friend can say to you, do you know what? Your breath stinks. Only a best friend will do that for you. That's what this deck is like. It tells you what you need to know, might not necessarily be what you want to hear, right? That's how this deck works. So then, Wispy, Bernadette wants to know, will she feel calmer in July and less anxious? Let's have a look for you. We'll do your drop. And as you've donated over $10, this is going to be a longer 6-card reading, my darling. So we'll do that for you. Wispy, we're going for inverted triangle. Let's have a look. So, okay. Right. Okay. So, first things first. The top row is what you have going on. So this is like your standard 3-card reading. So where you are, what you need to know, and what the future is like. So basically, the energy coming in, the energy in the middle, like secrets and things, and then the energy at the end of the month, the energy that's around. The 8 of Cups. Cups is your emotional suit. So when you say that you know, will you feel calmer and less anxious? I think this is indicative of what's been going on this past month. Okay, so this is absolutely saying that you have, I think you're ready to move on from something, right? You're ready to move forwards. The 8 of Cups is all about trying to do the journey to the 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups is talking about, you know, happiness and joy, lovely, positive, emotional events like that. The 8, as you can see here, all of these cups are needed. Why? Because you've got a big, massive leak. Your roof is leaking. So, oh, you've got all these pots down. However, it's not raining outside. This is an internal problem. This is not an external problem. This is an internal problem. Something that can be repaired and fixed and dealt with, right? The door is open. This is you leading. This is the path leading you. Sorry, hold on. This is the path leading you to the 9, to the happier times, right? This is reversed. And what this is saying is that it feels like there is some sadness that's linked in with this. I don't know whether that is linked in with grief for something, or with just like at the end of your tether, stress. Do you know what I mean? It's like Mitch had it. Mitch said in the doodah today, hanging on by Talon and There was a word for teeth, I can't remember what it was, but it basically means hanging on in there by tooth and nail, which I loved, and I've forgotten what it was. But anyway, this feels very much like June's been that for you. It's been a really tumultuous, quite a negative month, and that you're ready for that to move on. You're ready for that to pass. You're ready to start shifting that and moving towards that Nine of Cups, which is that much happier space. The Queen of Wands is what you need to know. Now listen, Wands is all about your self-confidence, your self-esteem, how you see yourself, all about your sense of you, right? Fang, that was the other word. That was the other, Talon and Fang, that was the word. The thing about the Queen of Wands, though, she's all about faking it till you make it. Look at this character, right? A, she looks like she belongs on RuPaul's Drag Race. B, she looks like she's doing a Tina Turner number. She's in that Tina Turner stance. C, she looks fierce as all hell, right? Face full of slap on, absolutely fierce dress, fierce hair, absolutely rocking it. This is a persona, right? And this is saying, even if you don't feel that way, you are able to embody it. Queens typically have nurturing energy, right? That's one of the things that come with the Queen cards. However, when it's reversed like this isn't about nurturing others. This is about nurturing yourself. And if you can't do that, if you do not have the spoons, or if your mental health is in a bit of a wibbly wobbly and your emotions are in a bit of a wibbly wobbly, this is saying that you need to fake it till you make it, right? You need to find a way to pretend that you've got your shit together until you've got your shit together. Does that make sense? And I'm not talking about pretending with everyone. I'm talking about kind of, if I say act in the role, do you know what I mean? It's almost like if you are not feeling very confident about your own situation, right? And say you have to go and speak to people, you have to advocate for yourself, you have to do something which involves you being able to stand up and be counted. This is what you need to do, right? And it's not going to come natural, and it's not going to feel authentic, but it's kind of saying you're okay to fake it till you make it, right? You're okay to it's okay to show in some circumstances that you've got things together. Not always. We have to be authentic, we have to be true to ourselves and all of that. And if there's something that you're going through, you do need to find support and help and all of that. But by the same token, it's okay to put that front on sometimes. Do you know what I mean? You have to realize what it is, though. You have to realize it's a mask, realize it's a costume, realize that it is fake, realize that actually, you know, you can hold it together for what you need to do, and then release. But sometimes you have to fake it till you make it. You've got the Nine of Cups. Here we were looking on this journey towards a happier self. Here we've got the happier self, right? Your question very specifically, will you feel calmer and less anxious? I think you will. I think the month ahead, right, this idea of faking it till you make it, I think is going to help, is going to bring you a sense of achievement. What I mean by this is literally, look, if you're going into situations where you feel scared, you feel anxious, you feel worried, you feel concerned, sometimes we can avoid those situations, right? Sometimes you can decide not to put yourself in that place. That's obviously, that would be the best thing to do, right? You don't feel confident walking barefoot through a crocodile enclosure at the zoo. Probably a good idea not to do that. Do you know what I mean? Probably a good idea to avoid that. However, if you are the crocodile keeper and you have trained these crocodiles and you've been with them and looked after them, and you know, you do all the things that you have to do to keep them alive and flourishing and make them happy, you probably know these crocodiles really, really well. In that situation, you might 100% be okay to walk barefoot across a crocodile enclosure. Do you know what I mean? Some situations you can avoid. Some situations you can't avoid. And if you are that crocodile keeper in that zoo and you've got a show at 3 o'clock for all of the kids or whatever else, right? And you need to go, I'm thinking of, what's his name? The guy that got killed by the stingray. You go, here we are, kids, these are the crocodiles, this is what we're doing, blah, blah, blah. In that instant, you can't show nerves. You can't show anxiety. You have to fake it. So that is a situation you can't get out of because it's your job. It's a situation where you have to do something. And so in that situation, it's perfectly fine to fake it till you make it, right? That's the sort of thing I'm talking about. I'm not talking about, you know, in personal relationships and things like that. I'm talking about in life in general, in tough situations. When we look at the cards below the 3, we've got these, we go a level deeper. We've got another 8 reversed. Both of these cards are telling me you are burning out. You are literally burning out. You are the 8s, especially the 8 of Pentacles. The 8s are all about that journey, working flat out, really, 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 really hard to get to the 9s, right? The 8 of Pentacles. Pentacles is either work, career, finances, money, or growth. Either way, you are working yourself to the bone and doing yourself a disservice, right? And it might be that you aren't able to work, or it might be that you're not in employment at the moment, but whatever it is, whatever this represents, it's representing whatever you are doing on a day-to-day basis for your, as a living. It's what you're doing to get ahead. It's what you're doing to grow. It's what you're doing in your everyday existence, right? The fact that both these 8s are reversed is screaming that you are running on empty at the moment. You are running on fumes. And where this is saying, will you feel calmer and less anxious? I think you might, but you need to have a break. You need to give yourself some time. At the moment, I think you're almost working on autopilot. at full speed. And that's going to be difficult because you've got some difficult choices. Again, do you know when I said fives earlier on, fives are about reassessing and assessing things, and sevens are tough choices. You've got some really, to find this happiness, to find what makes you happy, to find that emotional upside, right? You've got to make some tough choices. You've got to find a way of dealing with some tough choices, which at the moment you really don't want to face, right? It's almost like there is a reality here that you are trying to work flat out to avoid. And the thing is, the harder you work, the more you put that foot to the accelerator, the harder you're going to overwork that engine until it goes pop, right? At some point, you have to give it a break. All of these cards are screaming that you'll push. Do you know what I mean? All the way through that. That's what the cards are screaming. The 5, this is about your confidence. These two cards are echoing each other. Whatever is going on, my darling, you are more than your job, you are more than your career, you are more than your anxiety, you are more than how you're feeling, right? And when you look back at what's led you to where you are, when you look back at June and May and April and all the other months, March and January and February, when you look back over the last year or so, right, you may think of yourself as, look at all these things I failed, look at all these things I've done wrong, look at all these things that didn't go in my favor. You're not going to see the clear picture because right now you are tired, you are exhausted from trying to keep all the plates spinning and all the balls in the air at the same time. You need to let some things go. You need to make some really difficult choices about what you're going to leave behind and what you are going to let go, because you're not able to keep doing this 24/7. You're just not. You're going to burn out. Making these choices, right, as hard as it's going to be, it's the right thing. Something has to give. Once you make these choices and you decide what it is that you need to let go of, that's where this emotional release and this emotional happiness comes in. That's where you'll feel calmer. That's where you will feel less anxious. It's because at the moment you're trying to do too much. You're trying to take on the whole world when you're already running on empty. It's like your smartphone is at 3% and you're trying to make a video call whilst also on YouTube, whilst also, you know, buying something on eBay. There's not enough. You've not got enough energy to do it all. Once you stop and look really, really hard, look really open, right? Honestly, authentically, look at what you've done this month, just gone. Look at where you are right now. Look at what needs to change, and then have the courage to make that change. It's not going to be easy because it's a sword card, but it is a lesson you absolutely need to learn, right? You absolutely need to learn. And it will lead you to that 9 of Cups, which is that emotional happy place. I really hope that helps, my darling. I really, 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 really do. This is literally the card screaming out, you need to take some time for you. You need to stop burning the candle at both ends. You need to, you know, literally stop, take a breath, feel the grass under your feet. I hate that phrase, but it's a good one. And you need to then assess where is it that you should where is it you should be focusing your energy, and I think it will come good in July. I hope that helps, my darling. I really do. But thank you very much for your donation, and thank you very much for your question. Oh, absolutely. Oh, I'm really glad. Thank you, my darling. Right, let me just have a look. Ellis says that you've sent a super chat. I will have a wee look. Let me have a look on the back end. If it's not showing up on here, oh, it's showing up now. Ah, it's showing up now, my darling. It's showing up now. There you go. Right. Okay. I will do them in the order they come in, if that's okay. So I'll do Culture Envy first, and then I will do your one. Okay. Okay, thank you. I've got it. No, I'm going to do Culture Envies first because that's the order they appeared on my screen. So I don't know whether that got delayed in YouTube's system. If it did, it could be that Culture Envy, that theirs got delayed in the system as well. So I'll do them in the order they come in because that's the only fair way. But thank you very much to both of you. Right then, let's have a wee look. Let me just get these cards randomized in the deck. Here we go. Oh gosh, don't drop the cards on the floor, Lisa. That doesn't really help, does it? That doesn't help anybody. Right, and like so. There we go. Right, bear with. I am going to Culture Envy. I am going to take some drink because I am very dry throated, and because of that, dry throated. Is that a saying? I'm very dry and tickly throated. There you go. So while I do that, I'm going to hit this button. I will be with you in about 30 seconds. Okay, my darling, your reading's coming up. Don't go anywhere.
Join the Crow Collective. Help to support this channel by becoming a member here on YouTube. From £2.99 per month, you will gain access to members-only perks, live streams, competitions, sneak peeks, and more. Just click on Join for more information. Thank you to all our members.
Yes, indeed. A huge thank you to all of our lovely members. We did a Friday Night Natter on Friday, funnily enough. And also we did a members only today at 6, which we do an hour every Sunday before the main live stream on the channel. And I did a couple of readings earlier tonight for that. And yeah, that's just sort of the way that we do things here. Members do get access, as I say, to videos and things a little bit early as well where we can. So yeah, have a look. It's a good way of supporting the channel, and you do get access to the doodahs. I'm sure that Ed will put a few doodahs in the what's it. A few doodahs in the what's it, Ed. You know what I mean. Hang on, look, I can do this. I can do this. Here we go. A few doodahs, and you get some tarot, and you get a bell, and a purple heart, and some crows. There you go. We've got our own emojis. Look. Oh no, hang on. That one. There you go. There you go. That's what it is. Now I've done that, I'm stuck now. Oh, bugger. Hang on. There we go. There we go. There we go. Right then. Culture Envy, let's do your question. Before I mess things up even more, I need to move that blooming microphone again, don't I? Right then. So, oh gosh, that's me throwing the cards, not the cards throwing themselves. Cleanse the space and we bring in Wispy. Good evening, Wispy. Culture Envy would like a reading. What are they in denial about? What is Culture Envy in denial about? Wispy, we're going to read all three together as a sole subject, okay? What is it that Culture Envy is in denial about? With a 3-card throwdown. And I'm going to pick them randomly through the deck, Wispy. Right? Randomly through the deck. So you need to manifest them wherever you want them to be. Here we go. So then, my darling, we're going with the top one, that one, and that one. Interesting. You've got 2 knights. Oh, what are you doing, Culture Envy? Right. Okay. Okay. What are you in denial about? Well, oh, I've got a stitch. Knights are rebellious teenage energy, right? And you've got 2 of them. So you've got the Knight of Wands reversed. Wands is about confidence, self-esteem. And you've got the Knight of Cups upright. The Knight of Wands, this is saying that you have over-egged the pudding. You have overstretched yourself. You have... you thought you could do something better than you can. You thought you were better at it. This is the reverse almost of the fake it till you make it element, right? This is literally saying you weren't ready. You tried to run before you could walk, right? And because of the reversal, and whatever this is, you aren't ready yet, right? Now, I don't know if this is to do with love life. It kind of feels like it might be, because we've got the Knight of Cups. So this is your confidence, right? Over-exerting yourself, as I say, over-egging the pudding, thinking you could do something when it turns out you can't. The Knight of Cups is all about romantic energy, emotional energy. And the Knight of Cups is a bit of a player. Not as much as the King, but they still... The way I describe it, think of ye olden medieval days of Knights of the Round Table and all of that, right? The knights would have a different bed in every village, right? And I don't mean that they had their own property in every village. I mean that there would be young maidens, young squires in every village who would happily pull back the bed covers for the handsome knight in their shining armour on their lovely steed with their big shiny sword. It sounded wrong, but you know. There would be a lot of people that would be willing to open their bed covers for the knights. And in every village, everywhere they stopped along their route, they could have a different partner in that bed every single night. They are... Knights act first and think later. Right? So this is giving me this emotional relationship area. Because then we've got the Hanged one. So I don't know whether you've made a rash decision or maybe you have entered into a relationship too quick, or, you know, declared that this is the one too quick when actually you want to play the field, or vice versa. The Hanged one is all about sacrifice, delay, and getting the knowledge, waiting for the right time, waiting, knowing that you are sacrificing, right? This card depicts somebody underwater in a specific Japanese rope art way. For some people it's a kink, for some people it's an art form, for some people it's something altogether spiritual. The Hanged Man, the standard depiction of the card, shows Odin in this position hanging on the Yggdrasil for 9 days and nights to get given the knowledge of the runes. It's about sacrificing your comfort for the greater knowledge. You can see this person, as the bubbles are leaving, as they are breathing out, they have this wisdom, this halo of wisdom around them, because they have sacrificed, they have waited, they have chosen their time, they're uncomfortable, but they're willing to go through that to get this knowledge. So what are you in denial about? These are past mistakes to do with a relationship. I don't know if it's a relationship you're in currently or one that you need to finish working through. Whatever it is, you need to give it time to have the true knowledge, to have the truth come out, right? That's what you need to do. It's all about admitting the reasons for our actions in terms of relationships, partnerships and things like that. And when I say relationships, it could be a 6-month relationship, it could be a 6-hour relationship, it could be a 20-minute relationship, it could be a 6-year. The cards don't really discriminate when it comes to this sort of thing, right? It's just showing that younger you, maybe more carefree, less considerate is the only word that springs to mind, but less mature you may well have made choices that you need to look at and deal with. And you need to give things time to work themselves out. I hope that helps. I really, really, really do. But that is going to be your reading for today, my darling. And yeah, thank you ever so much for your donation. And thank you very much for your... for your donation. Thank you for being here. Right, let me have a look. Bernadette, you just started a new life back in Ireland. Wow, that sounds big. That sounds really big. It feels like you're probably on an interesting path, and it will be it sounds like it'll be an interesting path, but it does sound like it will come good in the end. I hope that helps, my darling. I really, really, really do. I like that. Oh my god, that's so good. That's so good. Who a Doodah Day, and come and join the Crow Collective. You'll love it here. Also, ring the bell, and if you feel like it, get a tarot reading. Lisa's the best at her craft. Thank you. That is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. I've got no idea, my darling, in that. I've got no... Oh, thanks, Ed. Thanks, Ed. Thanks, Ed. Thanks, Holland. That's very strange. YouTube is very strange. But, right, we're going to have a look. We are going to have a look, Ellis. Have you made a mistake by giving your partner a chance? You need to know if she truly plans to change things, or if I will end up hurt and regretting it. Let's have a look for you, my darling. So we will go to that one now. Don't forget, everybody, we will have another round opening up after this reading. Of course, when we open up a round, it means anybody here on the live stream that is choosing to is able to pop their name in and put their question in for a chance for a reading. If you want to guarantee it, like Culture Envy and Ellis has done, the only way to guarantee a reading is to send it through as a super chat. So yeah, don't forget, as you can see, Ellis and Culture Envy sent it for $5 or £5. They get a 3-card reading. If you're wanting a longer 6 or 7 card reading, then a £8 donation or $10 donation will get you that. Don't forget, as always on this channel, we donate 10% to the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals. So YouTube takes its cut off the top, about 30%. Anything that comes through to us at the end of each month, we donate 10% to the PDSA. So that is a charity here in the UK that help animals whose owners may be struggling to cover vet bills, animals who get injured on the side of roads and things, even wild animals. PDSA help out. They're an amazing charity that is literally the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals. They help sick animals. For June, we've also been donating to a LGBTQ charity, and the one we've chosen is the Albert Kennedy Trust, sorry. Thank you, my darling. Rufus has just appeared with a coffee. Thank you very much. Oh, look at that. Look at the steam coming off it. Thank you. So the Albert Kennedy Trust is who we are donating money from June for. And do you know what? I think we might actually continue that after June as well, throughout Pride season, which for us goes up to about October time. So then, right. That's where, and the rest of it, the other sort of, whatever it is, 20% or no, 50%, whatever it is that's left, that comes through to being able to get new microphones, cameras, equipment, the streaming, not the streaming, the editing software and things like that that we use on the channel. So it all gets ploughed back in. So then, let's do Ellis's reading. So, if it sounds like a bit echoey, I've just moved this can of pop. And because I moved it, I can suddenly hear my voice echoing from the can. Are we going to focus? There we go. Right then, so we cleanse the space. And we bring in the always lovely Wispy. So Wispy, why is it doing that now? Ellis would like to know, Wispy, have I made a mistake giving my partner a chance? I need to know if she truly plans to change things or if I will end up hurt and regretting it. Okay. Okay, my friend. Hang on. Technically, 2 cards did fall, but 1 fell after the other. The first one that fell was the 10 of Swords reversed. Okay, what was the second one that fell? It was the 4 of Pentacles. Right, let's look at these two together. I'm not even sure which way up the 4 was. But the 10 of Swords, first of all, I don't think that... I'm not going to count the 4, because I think it was just the one that was on top that when this slipped, I think that slipped. Okay. Obviously, excuse me, tarot is for entertainment purposes only. You make all your own decisions about your own life. Tarot should never replace medical advice, legal advice, counselling advice, or financial advice. Your clarifying card is the 10 of Swords. And Swords is a... thank you, Sarah. Swords is a difficult suit for this question because Swords is all about hurdles, challenges, and obstacles. The 10 is the most challenging, the most difficult. Hang on, I'm just going to turn this light down ever so slightly to see if I can stop it reflecting quite as much. So, computer, studio big light to purple. There we go, that helps a little bit. The Ten of Swords in other decks is quite often seen as the nightmare card. It is a difficult card to have to deal with because, as you can see here, this is like the death of 1,000 cuts. Each one of these pins alone doesn't do an awful lot of damage, but when you combine them, it's enough to end this poor bird. The soul, the spirit, the essence carries on. Why is that not? Oh God. So yeah, everything does carry on. Everything is grand in the long run. It's just how can I put it? It just takes a lot of time to get there, and it means going through quite a difficult period at first. It's one of those cards, Ellis, where it really does feel that things are going to get worse before they get better, right? This coming up as your clarifying card with this, it's not a good sign, right? It's not a good sign. Let me put it that way. It's really not. I wonder if I can put that over here. Let's do your 3 card. As always, when a card drops, that's when I stop shuffling and do your drop. Six of Pentacles. Now that's interesting. My brain didn't go to charity. Well, my brain did go to charity, but my brain went to charity in a way which says, sorry, I don't know why this camera suddenly, after me not changing a thing, is now trying to autofocus. Give me just 1 second. I don't know what on earth is going on today with the blooming camera. What is happening? Bear with me. Sorry, Ellis. I really am sorry. Just give me a second. And now the mouse is not working. What on earth? Oh gosh. Come on, stupid thing, move. I don't know why it's doing that. I really don't know why it's doing that. Sorry, bear with. Oh, why are you doing that? You haven't done that this whole time. Sorry, everybody. I've got no idea why everything is wanting to suddenly shift. God's sake. Stupid bloody computer. Right, hopefully that should stop it from moving. Right, sorry. My gut instinct was with this card when it came up, in all honesty, Ellis, was pack of things, stick them in a cardboard box, you can pick your things up from the doorstep. That was the very first thing when this card turned over that I wanted to say, right? The very, very, very first thing was, oh my God, like, what on earth is happening? In every which way, there is something here. Oh my gosh. As I say, yeah, it was a very automatic look. Something's not right. Okay, something doesn't feel right. It feels very much as if you are having to compromise. It feels very much like this situation is not going to get better. Pentacles is work, career, finance, but it's also the effort, the amount of growth. This card is literally talking about sometimes it is better to get rid of old things, right? Sometimes it is better to get rid of, yeah, just to get rid of old things, to get rid of what you know, what no longer serves. And it may well be that relationship no longer serves, because it very much feels, hang on, sorry, I'm just trying to, there we go. It very much feels like it's time to clear out. Sixes are also about community and about the people in your life. So it's also echoing that I think you need to rely on friends at the moment. The Knight of Wands. Oh, Ellis. Right, the Knight of Wands, my friend, when it's reversed like this, I don't know whether you jumped into the relationship really quickly or whether she did. There's something here about, why is it a leopard doesn't change his spots? What's that got to do with the price of cheese, Wispy? That's nothing to do with the Knight of Wands. What is... I don't know what the change things means, but I've got a leopard doesn't change its spots. In relating to this knight, the Knight of Wands is about your self-esteem, right? And this is saying it's almost like you wanted not to see the red flags. I don't even know where that's coming from. Oh. Were you played? Have you been played? Wispy, is that what you're giving me? Has Ellis been played? Oh, I hope not. Right, hang on. I'm going to pull one more card. Has Ellis been played? I'm pulling from the deck. Oh, the Ten of Pentacles. It was never going to go there. There was never growth on this one, my friend. I'm so sorry, Ellis. Again, it's all about your decision and your... this is saying, if you've been promised... Listen, if you've been promised long-term change, long-term growth, if you've been promised, you know, we'll learn together, we'll grow together, we'll grow old together, all of that. If you've been promised that in some way, shape or form, it's not true. There's something here. When I asked if you've been played, to get the Ten of Pentacles, Pentacles is growth, but it's also career, work, finances. But it's that growth element when we're looking at a relationship reading. In terms of the reversal here, it's saying it was never going to happen. This growth, you were never going to get to that Ten of Pentacles. You were never going to reach the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, whatever other analogy you want. You were never going to reach the destination that was promised, which is where this reversal comes in. The Knight of Wands is about your confidence. It's almost like you've been tricked in some way, or not necessarily tricked, but it's like you wanted to... You wanted to see the best in the situation, and because of that you were willing to see things, how can I put this, older, more mature eyes would have gone, I ain't got time for that, right? Some of us that are old and knackered, and we haven't got time for hoping for the best, and you know, people might change and they might learn, and this might and that might and the other might. We haven't got time for mights. We get to a certain point in life and it's just like, do you know what, people show you who they are, and very rarely do they change. And when you learn that, it affects everything and it colours everything. Is my net going green? Looks like it. The Three of Pentacles coming up in the what happens next. This is the apprenticeship card. Oh my God. Listen, right. I am hedging so many bets. This isn't fair to you. Right. Tarot is for entertainment purposes, right? You do make your own decisions. But listen, this Three of Pentacles, this apprenticeship card, this is about you learning the lessons, right? This is about you learning the lessons and growing from it. This is about you absolutely, whatever this relates to, right? The fact that you're asking this question means somewhere deep down, you know, this is not a person that you can trust. You know, this is not a person that is going to come through with the changes, right? The first thing that when that Knight card dropped was the leopard doesn't change its spots. The fact that you've got the apprenticeship card coming in, right, is saying this is a way of learning, and it's a way of doing it before you are fully committed into something later in life and you end up with your heart absolutely shredded, right? That is why this is the apprenticeship card, because it's how we learn. It's what we need to know. We learn it as we go. I do honestly think, listen, if I was face to face with you now, I would be saying, in all honesty, I am not 100% certain whether or not this is going to go well. Thank you, Neil. I am not 100% certain whether this person is right for you and whether you should give them a second chance. In fact, it feels very much like I don't know whether they have had I don't know whether you've paid for things for them, whether that's why there's so many pentacles here, or whether there's been something that almost feels transactional about the relationship, but it feels very, or whether you work with them in some capacity, but whatever it is, I don't think, I think the second part of this question, will you end up hurt and regretting it? I think this reading is your warning that doesn't happen, right? I think this is your warning that doesn't happen. Now, listen, what I would say, in all honesty, my darling, is don't necessarily end things right now. Don't necessarily work on the fact that, oh my God, Lisa said this, that's it, it's all over. There is still a chance, right? There is always a chance. When there's two people involved in a situation, we are never 100% certain of what the other person may or may not do. What these cards are saying is don't be surprised if this change doesn't happen. Don't be surprised if things repeat. So maybe emotionally take a step back, see how things go. Almost act as if your partner is on probation. Right? She's now got to prove that she can make these changes or do whatever it is that she needs to do. She's got to now prove that, to show that she wants to be in this relationship, that she wants to be part of your life. Because of that, because she has to prove it, until you get that proof, until you are certain that those changes are genuine and they're going to happen, just put your guard up a little bit, right? Protect your bubble, protect your heart, protect yourself. Forewarned is forearmed. I've said that too many times in the last few weeks, but forewarned is forearmed, right? If she isn't going to change, you'll know. If things aren't going to dramatically get better, you'll know. If you cannot completely trust her, you will know. My gut instinct with these 5 cards is that this is going to be a massive learning curve. There is a little glimmer of hope here. The Ten of Swords is reversed. Now, the fact that you are asking this question, the fact that there's obviously something has happened, she has said she can change, things will get better. This coming up is your clarifying card. When cards are reversed, it isn't always for me that this is a card that's for you. It could be that this card is suggesting that ultimately she is going to be the one with the sleepless nights. She is going to be the one where she has to effectively start over completely. What that says is that I think your guard is now up. You will know if she doesn't change, and you will know in your gut, in your instinct, in your empathic self, you will know if her heart isn't in it, right? At that point, because your guard is up, because you are waiting for that proof of change, because you are waiting to see how things go before you throw yourself back into something, right? Because of that, if it does go badly and she doesn't change, the situation doesn't improve, she's going to be the one that loses out more than you, right? She will realize the mistake when things are finally over and done with. This will be her Ten of Swords, not yours. I hope that helps. I really do. It does feel I honestly think it could go either way right now, right? It absolutely could go either way right now. I would say, look, don't make any long-term plans. Don't go thinking about buying rings and popping questions and all of that malarkey. I think she's got a long road to convince you that whatever mistakes were made were mistakes and that she is able to change. I absolutely think that. But by the same token, I think you'll be... I think you'll be all right. Okay? I think this now is your recognition that you need to be on your guard. And I think once you are on your guard, I think you'll know that you'll be better. And either way, it's now in her court to prove to you. If she does, then at that point, you can start letting your guard down again. But that's a great big fucking if. Excuse my language, I'm not supposed to swear on YouTube anymore. But it is. That is a massive if, right? Really, really big if. I hope that helps. I really, really do. And but yeah, thank you for your donation, and thank you for your question. We absolutely still need to go for coffee. I went for coffee with Ed last week. Last week, whenever Monday was last week, wasn't it? Yes, this week because today's Sunday. Yes, this week just gone. So then, I'm sorry that's happened to you. I really am, Ellis. I'm sorry that's happened to you. But I hope things are okay moving forward, and forewarned is forearmed and all of that. Sarah, thank you ever so much for your very kind donation. I will, when it all comes through, I will make sure that an extra £10 goes to the Albert Kennedy. I'm sure my brain is... Computer, what is the Albert Kennedy Trust?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, the Albert Kennedy Trust, ACT, is a charity that supports LGBTQ plus young people in the UK experiencing homelessness or living in hostile environments. It was created in 1989.
Stop. It was created and named after a young man called Albert Kennedy, who is remembered that way. So thank you very much, Sarah, for your donation. That is ever so kind, and I'll make sure that that myself and Rufus pay YouTube's part of that and everything else, and we'll send that £10 straight to the Albert Kennedy Trust. So thank you very much for that. Right then, I think it's time. Shall we have another round? I think we should have a round. Let's go for it. Dormouse, hi Neil, it's taken me since watching the podcast to get that light bulb moment. You know Neil's twin. You look so much like... Hang on. Neil looks like your ex-brother-in-law. Even your mannerisms and tone of voice, really. You get on well with your ex-brother-in-law. As for your sister, Lee said the... Oh dear. Oh dear. Wow. That's not good. That's not good. Yes, look, if you use Blue Sky, which is a bit like the Twitter, the Bird app, then apparently I'm now on the Blue Sky. I'm going to have to get the little clip of Data singing that. You can go to bsky.app/profile/beyond authentic. Does that say that? Beyond authentic, yes. Oh, wow, look. Oh, I can show you. Do you want to see how lovely I look over there? I look so lovely. It's such a lovely, lovely look. Look, hang on a second. Hang on. Brain, here we go. I can do this. I've done this on the other channel loads of times. Right, so I need to do that one and that one and that, and then bring that across to there. No, here we go. Are you ready? There's me on Blue Sky. Look, join me over there for regular things, comments, posts, I don't know. Join me on Blue Sky, where you can join the conversation by doing things here and doing this on this new Twitter app thing that isn't Twitter. It's not owned by... Words I can't say. It's not owned by that idiot person. Yes, him. It's not owned by him. I just need to... Right, I'm going to play this. Hang on a second, everyone. I need to hit this button, I think. Just in case.
YouTube tarot reader Lisa Lee has been found using bad language during her twice weekly live streams.
Lies!
In a shocking turn of events, it has also been discovered that she will not tell you what you want to hear, only what you need to know.
That's
the
true.
internet is in collective shock that authenticity is alive and well in this corner of the YouTube meta space. Do not watch if you are easily offended.
I used to be a bit more sweary back in the days. I'm trying not to swear anymore. But the idea of that Elon person, yes, that one. No, not Mr. Oh, I could do Mr. Blue Sky. That would be a good one, wouldn't it? Right, shall we have one more round? I think we should. Let's do one more round. If you would like a tarot reading, please do the following. Pop your question in the live chat, starting with the word question, or send it through as a super chat. Either way, do it now. Don't you love it when you trigger a video and it doesn't play?
Ask your question now. Send your question as a super chat to guarantee your 3-card reading is next. Donations of $10 or £8 or over will receive a longer 6 or 7 card reading. To try for a free reading, write your question in the live chat starting with the word question. If no super chats come in, a free question will be chosen at random. And if you need help, just ask one of our mods.
I didn't shout lies. What do you mean, Holland? That video said that I have been caught using bad language on the internet. I would never do that. Ever, ever, ever. The YouTube gods and the algorithm of the YouTube knows me better than that. When would I ever use bad language? I don't ever use language like that. Ever, ever, ever. I am a good girl. I washed my face and hands before I came. I did. Yeah. I don't know what you mean. I wouldn't do that. That's not a thing. Anywho, go ahead, pop your question in if you would like a reading. The likeness is uncanny. I'm also, this is the first I've heard of Blue Sky. I will also be discovering the app along with all of you, but to be honest, that's the reason why I also joined Threads, which is owned by Meta, which is the same as Facebook, is because I don't ever want to really tweet again if I can help it on the Twitter machine, because although it's still the widest publicly used, it's also owned by a and other words that I can't use. Hopefully nobody read that. Anywho, let's have a look. You missed that video thingy. Do you know what? It looks as if we're done for the readings tonight. It does, doesn't it? It looks as if we are done for the readings tonight. Ellis, I hope you're okay, my friend. You've gone very, very quiet. I think you've got my contact details. Do message. We are going to be going to lots of prides. By the way, Bradford Pride has announced its date. Oh, I saw it. Hang on. Bradford Pride, for those of you in that there Yorkshire, in Yorkshire, like the nose, isn't it? Like what I is, in that there Yorkshire, Bradford Pride it's coming up fairly soon, if I remember rightly. Screenshots. It is on Saturday. Oh, it's not that soon at all. Saturday, August the 30th is Bradford Pride. So, yes, look. Saturday. You can't see it, can you? Because of the way the blooming thing is on the screen. But it is Saturday, August 30th at City Park, apparently. So there you go. We will definitely be there. Maybe with the doggo. Maybe. Well, I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. I never said nothing about nothing or something. I never do. Never, ever, ever, never swears about nothing. I certainly don't use any adulty language anymore on here. Anymore. I try not to, because YouTube does actually not like it. In all seriousness, if you use certain words, the algorithm, it's not that it blacklists you, because it doesn't, and it's not that it stops promoting you, but it doesn't, but it does seem to dislike it, and maybe it doesn't show quite as many people my content, allegedly, maybe, perhaps, and things like that. So yes. Nerida? Is it Nerida? I'm saying that wrong. It's not Nadia. It's Nerida. Narinda. Hello, my darling. Hello, Narinda. I will read this for you very briefly. Will Henry marry me? I think you already asked us this. Did you not already ask us? I'm sure you asked this last week, my darling. I'm sure you did. I'm sure you've asked this question, my love. I'll tell you what. Nadira. Oh, I was close. I said Nadira originally, didn't I? I'll tell you what we'll do. Because I'm sure that we've already asked this question. Rather than keep getting Wispy to answer the same thing over and over again, which pisses him off, because, you know, he is a temperamental young person. I'm going. I will go. Even if it's just to go and say hello, and I will go. Come and just hang out with me for like an hour or so, or whatever it is, or something like that. Didn't we go last time? I know the door staff, the people there were rubbish. Am I getting confused with York? I don't know. I get confused with all of them. I will go this year. I will go. I fancy going to Donny. Right, let's have a look. So, what we're going to do, Nadira, is this, right? We're going to answer your question in a completely different way, right? We have the Coin of Destiny. La, 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 la. Hang on. Oh, no. I do have an echo on here. Shall I turn the echo on? Shall we see what it sounds like? Hang on. The Coin of Destiny. Did that echo? Did that sound good? Hopefully it sounded good. This is the Coin of Destiny. Okay, Neil. I absolutely will. So, yes on one side, no on the other. The Coin of Destiny. Here we go. So we are going to spin the coin, spin the spindly coiny thing. Will Henry marry you? Does Henry want to marry you? Let's have a look. So then, here we go. Oh, it wasn't an echo. It was a chorus or something. Okay. Well, it's a good spin, Lisa. The Coin of Destiny says yes. Yes, he wants to marry you. Will it happen in 2026? As in next year? No, it won't happen next year. So you might have to wait. You might have to wait a bit, Nadira. The Coin of Destiny says he does want to marry you, but not next year. Neil, I do have that. I did have that deck. Here we go. This is the deck that Neil is asking for. Who went through time before last? I don't remember. Holly. It's been a long time. I will go this. Oh, no, I do know. Yes, they were horrendously misgendering. We'll go this year, and we'll go with a whole bunch of blooming flags. Right, here we go. So we're going to pull a couple of oracle cards. This is such a beautiful deck. Look at this. Look at this. They even include, look, can you see? This is for, this is an important one for all of the Christians out there, as you can see, that are really important with witchcraft. The missing witches. No, in all honesty, this would be all of the witches that were unknown to us. This is the Missing Witches deck of oracles. It can be used, in two different ways. One way is to look at some really interesting people. Lady Frida Harris, Lynn Margulis, Maria Gimbutas, Anna Halprin. There's all sorts. Doreen Valiente. There's all sorts of different people on here. I know you can't really see because of this this flaming, the way the camera's been acting up today. But it can also be used as a standard oracle card with the name, with the single word here. So we're going to I'm going to draw a couple of cards for this coming week. Okay. So if you want a card for this coming week, please give me a shout. Neil, you're going to get the first card. If you want a card, a Missing Witch Oracle card for the first year. I know you can only see the whites out because unfortunately, it's the whatever the problem I'm having with this camera was. So this was just last year. The Pride team misgendered you and 2 other volunteers repeatedly. Yep. They were, we'll march. We will go with non-binary flags aplenty, trans flags aplenty, and if I see the people involved, I will absolutely be screaming, they, them. I was going to say more words. Don't blame me for not wanting to go, but if you want to go and show a presence, then yeah. And I will have words. Right then, so for Neil, a Missing Witch Oracle card for Neil. We are going with this one here, which is not looking. Monica Stew, Resolve. So Neil, this is saying, right, for me, resolve is about you have to stand fast. You have to absolutely dig those heels in. Who was Monica? One of the last great religious painters in Western art, Monica made revolutionary art and wrote revolutionary books. She wove together queer and feminist activism, art and witchcraft. She was a loving mother who watched her 2 children die, one in a violent accident and the other after being preyed on by high control manifestations of the New Age. She was determined to paint and write and act for the complete dismantling of the patriarchy. She painted women in the moonlight together in the lunar mind. She sang the burning times on the altar of Bristol Cathedral, holding her painting of the goddess giving birth to the world. She was heartbroken and fierce. She danced and sang. She is with you now, rooting your resolve, in the earth. Okay, so whatever's going on this week, you have that earth resolve energy with you. That fighting spirit is with you this week. So I hope that helps, Neil. Whatever it is that's coming up for you this week, you've got that spirit, you've got that energy with you. Monica Sue. I'm going to pull a card for me for this week out of this deck. These cards are so interesting. They're such a beautiful depiction of history from a feminist perspective and a intersectional feminist perspective. You know, and it's unapologetically so. I really love it. So, Wispy, for me, what do I need for this coming week? I'm thinking about what I've got coming up this week. What do I need to know for this coming week? Who have I got? Sor Juana, Hermitize. Okay. So Sor Juana was the first published feminist of the New World. In 1667, giving her total disinclination to marriage and her wish to have no fixed occupation which might curtail my freedom to study, she became a nun. From her convent cell, she amassed one of the largest private libraries in the New World, wow, including a collection of musical and scientific instruments. She wrote poetry, plays, comedic and scholarly works, religious services and carols sung in cathedrals. She wrote in indigenous Nahuatl and Hispano-African and Spanish dialects. She wrote of women's reason, frustration and disillusionment, as well as their bravery and ingenuity. She is the hermit who invites you to a cell that is bigger on the inside. That's really interesting because okay, no, that's a really interesting card to come up for me for this coming week. The idea, so what I take from this is the idea of stepping aside, learning, and kind of seeking that knowledge. I've got a few books to read that I'm going through at the moment. And with my pop culture coven that I'm working on and how all of this works and fits together and how it's going to be used, there's a lot of study involved at the moment. So that's really, really interesting. That is really interesting. Also, what an incredibly inspirational person. Became a nun so that she had the freedom to study. Of course, the Doctor Who reference about the cell being bigger on the inside, that's also fascinating. Okay, I can actually take that card quite well, actually. Yeah, that's hit. Right then, so that is going to be it today, everybody. Thank you ever so much for joining us here on the stream. I am going to just very quickly, I know that we are at time, but there's a couple of people in here that I really want to just highlight. Arguably we could do videos with almost all of these people involved as the hidden, the forgotten, the misremembered witches of our past and of our communities. I mean, there's people like Harriet Tubman on here, absolute just extraordinary human beings. There's one person that I want to just very quickly have a look and just basically briefly touch on, and this is Pixie Coleman Smith, otherwise known as Pamela Coleman Smith. Pixie is the artist behind the world's most popular tarot deck. She lived with migraines and synesthesia and said, When I take a brush in hand and the music begins, it's like unlocking the door into a beautiful country. A member of the suffrage artillery, she contributed to the fight for women's rights and donated work to the Red Cross. Pixie's tarot deck was among the first to have illustrations for every card, a palimpsest of symbols and secrets that came before. She never earned royalties for her work on the deck, but she lived 40 years with her love and best friend, Nora Lake. This card calls on you to unlock doorways to that unknown country where we all live free. Pamela Coleman Smith, for 40 years, lived with one person, and that was Nora Lake. These days, would they be considered lesbians? Probably. They were each other's love, each other's companion, and each other's reason for being. The fact that virtually every deck that I use references Pamela Coleman Smith's original artwork, and the fact that so few people are aware that not only was she a woman of colour, but she was a woman who loves women of colour. As this is the last live stream before the end of Pride Month, I just want to end really on acknowledging not just Pamela Coleman Smith. We've also got people like Genesis Peorage and other folks who are part of our history, part of our witchy history, that perhaps have had their lives whitewashed and stripped bare of what made them the unique and wonderful people that created so much of what the witchcraft community, the tarot world, a lot of our esoteric understanding is now based on. And this is a deck that I probably will do something with, actually, in terms of going through the women and the characters, the people mentioned on this deck. But for now, I just wanted to bring to your attention, if you didn't already know, that our amazing, almost the patron saint of tarot, was a woman who lived for 40 years with the love of her life in a time where it couldn't be spoken. And not only that, but she was a woman of colour who lived for the vast majority of her life in pretty much in poverty. And yet, for as long as I have been involved in tarot, I have known and spoken her name. And as long as there is breath in my body and a tarot deck anywhere near me, I will continue to speak her name and speak her history. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. The second part of our Pride podcast special episodes will be coming up tomorrow, where we look at some of the deities and some of the people that live in the intersection of queerness and witchcraft. And yay, I hope you join us for that. The first episode is out now, where both me and Neil talk very openly and publicly about our own places within the queer community and how that has affected and altered and guided our magical journeys. So that episode is out now. Just look for it on the channel, look for the podcast stream. And yeah, even though Pride Month now comes to an end. The last episode will be out tomorrow, which is the last day of June for the last day of Pride Month. These flags are going nowhere. These flags are here all the time. So if you're watching this on replay and it's after June, you are just as welcome here. This is just a safe space for all people. And I'm going to say thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you ever so much for those of you that donated. And thank you ever so much for those of you that have spent time watching and persevered if you got booted from the channel. Thanks ever so much. And of course, my last lot of thanks go to two groups of people. One are the members on the channel without who you keep us running in terms of being able to afford to be here. And the other group are the most amazing group of people that I know, and I am incredibly proud to call all of them friends. And those are the moderators on this channel, and those are the people whose names have been in blue with a spanner next to their name. And I love you all very much, and thank you ever so much for everything you do. And that's going to be it from us. And as I always say, stay you, stay true, stay authentic. And I will be back on Tuesday evening, 7 p.m. UK time. And until then, have a lovely rest of June. Don't sweat too much tomorrow. And I will see you all on Tuesday, the 1st of July. Take care.
So, apparently I'm a witch.
'Cause she's a witch.
I'm the love witch.
I am a witch.
I am a witch.
I'm a witch. Sally just came out.
Now the witch is back!